Welcome. We are so happy that you are back with us today. And I just want you to take a breath because I think sometimes we go, go, go when we do, and we just need to kind of make sure we're breathing in that deep breath, not in that shallow kind of breath. Because today, what we're going to talk about with Dr. Tom and Shelley Negolo is we're going to talk about how do we unhook from that fear, from the stress that we're all feeling because of all the things that are going on in our world and in our life. So we want to thank you guys so much for being here today. And we're going to invite our very special guest, of course, Kuthumi, in to really share that powerful, powerful wisdom. So thank you guys for being here.
Well, thanks for hosting us.
Yes,
once again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, LaShonda. Really, this is always so much fun. And we love to bring this message to everyone out there.
Yeah. And we know that everyone's suffering from so much stress right now with the uncertainty and all that's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and our kids pick that up as well. It looks like, oh, this is just us. But kids look at us and mirror and see how to act, see what they're supposed to do in certain situations. So your ability to let go of that stress, to mitigate it, to actually, the best word is release it, so that it isn't even there. And the kids can see, well, sometimes, people get stressed and, oh, I see that there's a way, or there's a method or something that I can do when I'm feeling that, even though they may not even be able to describe it, it's still there for them. So they get an indication, a way of letting go. And that's immensely important for kids, because I don't know if I would have made it through today's world as a kid. It was back when we were growing up, there wasn't all that stuff.
Absolutely.
You worried about, can I hit the baseball far enough and catch it? That was the big worries. It's very different now, obviously.
Yeah.
So not only learning to de-stress, but even not taking the stress on to begin with, learning how to let go very quickly, almost in the moment, is really the key to this, I think.
Absolutely. And I think what you pointed out, Tom, is so important, is that we forget sometimes we're a family unit, so if the head and the leaders of the family are overwhelmed and burnt out, stressed out, and living in this, it trickles down to everybody in that household. So we definitely need the tools and the resources to deal with that.
Yeah,
that is so powerful. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's a learned thing. It's something we learn to do and learn how to do. I guess when we were still planting things and harvesting them as a society, it was a little bit easier, because again, all you had to worry about is the crop growing, and then you did whatever you did to do that. But it is so much more complex now, unbelievably more complex. And so the ability to recognize that as soon as you possibly can, and release it emotionally, release it mentally, release it physically, is what's going to keep us alive longer.
yes.
Really, it is.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, and the children, the stories that we hear, and also watching our own grandchildren, how stressed they are over just living life. They have meltdowns, they have anxiety all the time. And our kids didn't have that. I mean, they had moments, but they didn't have that ongoingly all the time. And I hear it about many children, not just our grandchildren. So we have an added responsibility as adults to really do something for our own lives that then is going to impact the children and the other people that we are supporting in our sphere. And it isn't a difficult thing, but it is rigorous to release some of the stuff we hold on to. And it is an ongoing practice. It's something that we do on a daily basis, not just once in a great while. If we think about it, we actually have to make it a conscious, a connection with our lives and what's important to us.
That makes so much sense. Because we go through, if you think about yesterday compared to today, we always say as adults, there's new stresses. Oh, I got more stressed out today. You know, we have become so comfortable with using the term, like almost like stress is normal. You know, like it's our normal state of being. And it's sad because I think sometimes we don't even realize how stressed we are and how it, like you said, it's impacting the children.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't we go to Kuthumi? And Shelley, you want to introduce the subject or ask a question so he can focus in on that?
And LaShonda will
Yeah,
have a question or two, I'm sure, because you know you have that experience within your own family and what that's like, and with many other people around you. So yeah.
So yeah, as soon as he comes in, frame it.
I certainly will.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm a trance channel. That means that I go into a deep meditative trance. I have no recollection of what's being said, the questions asked, what I'm saying. Everything goes to black, and then sometime later I come back. I'm going to channel the Ascended Master Kuthumi. Kuthumi is the combined energy of Saint Francis of Assisi, Pythagoras, the Greek philosopher and mathematician, and the Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was the Indian leader who built the Taj Mahal. And the combined energy of those three is the experience or the feeling, if you will, of unconditional love. And so Kuthumi has, if you will, given me the name of as the voice of unconditional love, which I gratefully accepted. And that's the vibration, if you will, that it comes through as. Very briefly, channeling is not mystical and magical. We all have experiences of knowing something when perhaps we thought we shouldn't have, or unusual, something like that. Basically, you're channeling energy. If you look at energy as between my two fingers, that's energy. There are pieces, if you will, or frequencies of energy. And as human beings, we use a piece of that or a frequency of that to be us, to have our personality and what we say and experience and all that. Well, what I do as a channel is I let go of that particular energy or frequency, and that allows another frequency to move through me, and I speak from that energy, and that energy is Kuthumi. So that's really simply all it is. Like I say, it's not magical and mystical. It's another way to access energy that perhaps you wouldn't have normally. The difference with me and everybody else is I do it on purpose and at will, because I practice doing that. And that's, you know, that's where I channel from, and that's my experience of it pretty much. So I'm gonna show you jump out of the frame here. She's gonna be the disembodied voice, and LaShonda knows to ask whatever questions, and we'll go, okay? Well, now, and good day to you, my dear.
Hello, Kuthumi.
And how are you on such a fine day that this is?
Well, we're really good today.
Very good, very good.
Kuthumi, we'd like to have you speak to us today about how to unhook, how we can unhook from the stress and the fear, the basic human experience of it kind of holding back in
Yes,
this day and age with all of our circumstances and our challenges in the world.
yes, very good. And so, what is the difference between stress and fear? In the foundation, there is no difference, you see, because both of these things involve the experience or even the illusion of danger. You see, what is going to happen if this happens, and what's going to happen if that happens, and how is it going to affect me, and how am I going to deal with it, and how is it going to be that I can survive through it at the very basic level, you see. And so stress in the human body is essentially physiologically the same or very similar to danger or fear in the animal body, as far as how the body reacts to it. Muscles tension up, thinking tries to figure it out. All these things occur in both stress and fear, fear which is danger. Danger of what? Danger of survival, you see. So if you get stressed at the office, what does this mean? Well, I have so much work, I can't possibly do it, or whatever the thinking is that you have that is stressing you out. But what are you really saying? If I'm not successful at this job or this thing that I am doing, then what's going to happen is I may be fired. So I may be not able to live in my house or drive my car, whatever it may be, you see. So that is the bottom reaction. That is the foundational, if you will, reaction that is causing the fear. The fear of what? The fear of survival, you see. Ultimately, even more importantly, the fear of somebody taking their love from you. That is the ultimate illusional fear. Now, why do we say illusional? Can somebody take their love from you? Well, they can take their love from you, but that does not leave you loveless, you see. Because the foundation of who you are is unconditional love in your basic fabric of who you are, and the body and the thinking and the emotions and the spirituality of who you are, you see. So in eliminating this fear, eliminating the stress, you see, not even taking the stress on, what you have to do is have a foundational experience of unconditional love that you are, you see. Now you may be saying, what does that have to do with stress? I love myself, I still get stressed. Well, you may love yourself, you see, but you are not taking it far enough. You are not taking it to the point where it is the experience, the realization that your unconditional love is already who you are. Nothing has to be done about it, you see. So when you have that as a strong beginning, a strong sense, a strong experience, then whatever goes on at work or with your children or the husband or in life in general, you see, you cannot be moved off that essential experience, that essential mark, if you will. And so now when you get, if you will, stressed at work, you can go, oh, okay, well, what is really going on here? What is past the illusion? So when you look at what the illusion is and why you're getting stressed, let us say at work, because of the fear of something negative, the fear of something that you do not like happening. Well, what is so about this? What is so about this is your life is not about your work, although it is easy to make it this. Your life is about who you are. Your work is included, your family is included, your children are included, your husband, whatever, mate included, you see? Because that is, all of it comes from and expressed in and from the unconditional love experience that you already are. The work to be done is to uncover it and then use it, you see. When you're being loved, unconditional love in the world, you cannot be stressed. Now, there are things that you're going to like and things that you are not going to like, and all of this is so you live in a three-dimensional world, you see. But because you dislike it, doesn't mean you go crazy over it. Or have to, you see. And so in letting go of these things, how is that done? Now that we have talked about it emotionally, perhaps, and logically, intellectually. The letting go of it does not occur in the intellectual conversation. The true letting go is in the body. Because the body is the receptacle of everything that goes on in your world through your senses. And so first the body reacts in some manner, and then almost immediately a thought occurs, you see. So as you release in the body, let's say you are having what you may call a stressful day at work, okay? So stop for a minute when you can. Take some deep, relaxing, clearing breaths, you see, and say to yourself, okay, what is really going on here? What am I really afraid of that's causing me distress? What is the illusion that is dangerous here? You see, that you're having a stressful day and it may come from some sort of illusional danger does not mean somebody's going to attack you in the office because you haven't done the paperwork in a way. You see? What is true danger? True danger is, let us say, walking through the forest and a bear pops up in front of you. That'd be a good time to be fearful. That is a dangerous thing, you see? But nobody in the office is going to pop up in front of you in a bear costume and make you afraid. So it is not a true fear, it is an illusioned fear. Do you have some fear about maybe if you do a bad job losing your job? Yes, this could be. But it is not going to take you, when you're clear about yourself, from the experience of who you are and the love you are. It may be uncomfortable, you may not like it, you may have some wonderings about, no, I did not do this right, and I have to go, whatever. But all of that is in the minutia of life. And all of that gets cleared when you clear the body, releasing the body. Where is it in the body? Let go of the feeling, open the body up, you see, through breath and relaxation. And then moving ahead, and what is next? You see? And so when you find yourself getting stressed and fearful, which of course will happen, again, you live in a three-dimensional world. Ask yourself, okay, what am I going to create? What am I going to do? What action am I going to go into to move myself forward in this particular situation? See. And so in doing this, what you will find is all the things around you will start to align to what it is you wish to create, what it is you wish to manifest. Practice this regularly, and you will see the stress and the fear that goes along with it dissipate and eventually disappear. So in each moment, you are clear with who it is you are and what it is you're going to create in the world from that. Very good. And so, please, questions at this time.
Kuthumi, I have one in particular having to do with our children in this day and age.
Yes.
They have a lot of anxiety. And they even grab onto these little cushions now, these anxiety cushions, whatever they're called, and they kind of knead them in their hands. And it's something that's become a popular thing. The kids go to school having this point of view that they're anxious, they have anxiety issues. So what can we do to support the children in letting this go?
Yes, the most important thing in with children is even at the very youngest age, as soon as they can even think about things, have cognitive thinking. Although it is not sophisticated yet, but it will be indeed, but find out who they feel they are, you see? Yes, and what is it you want in your life? And what does that feel like to you? You want to be, let us say, a fireman, whatever. Really? Will they? Who knows? But it makes no difference, because what you're going to do is ask them, okay, what is the feeling of that for you? How does that feel? It's, oh, it feels like fun, or it feels like whatever they may say. That is fine. Whatever they say is fine, because they are, no matter how they speak of it, they are coming to the feeling. They're exploring the feeling for themselves, you see. And that is what is important. What they say is not really important, because of when they're young, that may change and so on. But they're establishing a baseline of experience that they're looking into, which will take them a very far way, so that they can begin to establish an experience of who they are. You see? And that will reduce the distress. Because just like an adult, when you know who you are, at least when you're working on who you are, then that is the focus, not the exterior, you see.
You have a question, LaShonda?
Yes, Kuthumi. I know you talked about that we are unconditional love. And when people are feeling so stressed or overwhelmed, how do they get back to realizing who they are? Because they're so bogged down with just being in that feeling of that. I don't think people may realize that they are unconditional love, or have connected to that feeling.
Yes. Very good what to do, since you are already unconditional love. It is a matter not of getting to it. So if you've been trying to get to love, or get to enlightenment, or get to whatever, stop doing it, because the more you try to get there when you are already there, the more you're going to have to push it away in your consciousness, so that you can do something about getting it when you already have it, do you see? So the more you try to, the less you can. So now what do you do to uncover the experience of the unconditional love that it is you already are? Several things that you can do. First thing is to stop. Second thing is to let go of the idea or the notion that you aren't already. And then sit in quiet time, meditation, if you will, but most important, just quiet time within the self. And ask the self, well, who am I? Having nothing to do with what you do, or your children, or your family, or the things around you. Who are you at what we call your ground of being? You see, the being that is on the ground. Even underneath the foundation, you build a house, you first start with the foundation, but the foundation has to be on something. It has to be on solid ground, you see. And so keep asking yourself who you are. You see, very simple answers, not long lists of things. No, very simple. Are you the expression of love? Are you the expression of joy? Are you the expression of wisdom and peace? Are you the expression of the experience of universal energy? Any of those things, you see? Because of course, all of those things are true, but there will be some things that you will say about yourself that ring true for you. Now, why do this? Very simply because this will give you and support you in having a vibrational experience as that ground of being. So when it does get stressful, you can stop, recreate the experience, the feeling in the body, which is the only place you can have an experience. You don't have an experience in your thinking because your thinking comes from your body. Thinking is a brain process, so it's physical in nature. And so, take some time, look at your body. Where are you feeling this essence of who you are? Experience it fully in the body. How does it feel? Where is it? What does it feel like? And then in peaceful time, again, take some clearing breaths and say, good, now, what shall I create with this? Because once you have the experience of who you are, the only thing left is to bring it into the world, bring it into your world in some way, to your children, to your mate, to your friends, to your business, whatever it may be. Because the vibration of unconditional love is fully experienced in its expression.
Thank you, Kuthumi. That was wonderful.
Very good.
Wonderful.
And one more question, if we can.
Something for you, LaShonda?
So is there something specific, because Shelley had mentioned the children, and I think that's so important. Is there something specific like families can do maybe together to really deal with this issue, to help with the stress? I think it's become part of our culture. But is there something that they can do together? Do like what you just said, should they do that together, or is there something else?
It's very good. You see, in any relationship, there is a vibrational energy, be it between one and another, or one and another and children, or family members, or parents, whatever. So there is an extra energy. If you have two people, there's a third energy. If you have three people, there's a fourth energy. And that energy is the vibration of that relationship. And so together, if you will, as a family, you can say, okay, here's the family. Here's who we are. We are friends, we're fun, and whatever it may be. How would we take this into the world? What can we do about it? You see? And then as the energy of the family go into the world and express the love that you are. It is that simple. Very good. Yes.
Oh, Kuthumi, that was just so precious. Thank you so much.
Also,
Thank
very
you.
good. Yes. And so, my dears, until the next of our coming, peace to you in this time.
Thank you, Tom, so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
This has been truly, truly amazing. You know, us starting this conversation about stress and fear, and Kuthumi gave some really powerful information that was so simple that every single being can do. That doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter your circumstance, you really can release and unhook from this stress and the fears. And he beautifully broke down how to do that. You know, it was
Great.
truly, truly amazing. So I definitely want to say thank you, because people are feeling this so much. And like we talked about the children and the whole family unit. And he gave great things for people to do, exercises and awareness is for people to come to really get rid of this.
Great, great, good.
I loved it so much, and I think it's so important for today that I'm going to post it in our various groups.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want it to go out everywhere, wherever people are willing to post it.
Absolutely. And would you guys definitely share your contact information so that people know how to connect with you, how to get more help and more healing?
Well, first of all, our major group on Facebook is called Millennium with 2 L's and 2 N's, Millennium of Love. It's a public Facebook group where Tom and I, along with a dear friend, Michael Mesmer, teach a class every week for free. And that's on Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock Eastern time. So that's the major place to reach us. We also have Academy for Conscious Living, which is our website, and you can contact us there. My direct email, if you want to message us personally, you could either message me directly on Facebook in the message link, or you can message me at Shelley Negelo. Make sure it has an EY, SHELLEY, NEGELOW @gmail.com. And we will respond to you there. So if you're interested in speaking to us personally, having a one-on-one call where you look at what it is you want to create for your life or what you're wanting to be supported in healing, we will be glad to support you with that. We are both teachers and healers, besides the great channeling that Tom provides for people. So also one more group, the Voice of Unconditional Love. And that's where we post all the channelings, most of which are the interviews with LaShonda, which we're always so grateful for.
Thank you guys so much for doing this work. And Tom, any last words?
Well, I was just going to say, if someone is interested in doing an individual channeling with me, we do that, obviously. We do it over Zoom. So you have a record of it, a recording of it. And just contact Shelley and we'll set that up.
And we're
Perfect.
going to be very soon having a group channeling on Zoom. So if you're interested in that, let us know. We'll probably be having it on a weekend in a couple of weeks. It'll be after Labor Day. So within a week or two after that, we were going to do a group channeling where people can join us.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, we thank you guys so much for doing this work. We thank you for sharing. This topic is so important. So important. And people really need to realize that you don't have to live your life stressed out, burnt out, and in fear. There is another way of being, which is your true self.
Yep. Very good.
It is your true self. And that's all that we truly have. And in connecting with each other to uplift each other with that experience.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you once again. And we will see you guys next time.
Good.
Thank
very
you
good.
again,
Thank you so much.
LaShonda.
You're
Always
welcome.
a joy.
Yes.